Level 1. The distant bloodline. Imagine sharing your exact last name with a $14 billion tycoon, yet you are just a second cousin who has only crossed paths with him 3 times in your entire life. Those rare encounters, your grandma's 90th birthday, a random family gathering, and that one disastrous Christmas where you took his VIP parking spot and spent 20 minutes apologizing to his personal security team. Your actual reality is completely different. You are just a stressed project manager at an average consulting firm, drowning in debt over a leased Toyota and living in a sleepy suburb where a new mailbox is considered breaking news. But everything flips upside down when a random TikTok goes viral, suddenly exposing your hidden family connection to the billionaire. Overnight, your DMs are hijacked by sketchy crypto bros, desperate wannabe influencers, and random strangers begging you for a job in his empire. And just like that, your peaceful LinkedIn profile turns into an absolute nightmare. Week after week, your inbox is flooded with shameless networking attempts from people saying, "Hey, noticed your connection to the billionaire. Let's discuss some synergies." Your payment apps suddenly blow up with ridiculous requests from long-lost acquaintances who magically remember lending you cash back in college. A trendy lifestyle blogger even pitches a collaboration, wanting to interview you about what it is like growing up next to insane wealth. This is deeply ironic, considering you grew up in a completely average house where buying premium brand cereal was the ultimate luxury. But here's the crazy part. Every single year, right around the holidays, a mysterious $15,000 wire transfer drops into your bank account. The only explanation is a tiny memo note that simply reads, "Family." That cash is an absolute lifesaver, easily wiping out your credit card debt and funding a solid vacation. Yet you never once acknowledge it. Because seriously, what are you supposed to say? Thanks for the money that is literally 0.0001% of your net worth, but just rescued my entire financial year? Level 2. The in-laws. You officially married into this ultra-wealthy family exactly 3 years ago. Your engagement party was hosted at what they humbly called their small house in the Hamptons. Turns out, this tiny getaway actually boasted 12 massive bedrooms and a full-time staff who somehow memorized your exact coffee order before you even arrived. The actual wedding preparation did not feel like planning. It felt like a classified military operation. It involved high-end event coordinators, private security consultants, and a dedicated publicist whose only mission was to block desperate paparazzi from ruining the reception. Then came your bachelor party. It was an absolutely insane weekend in Vegas that your own bank account could never even dream of affording. The entire trip was bankrolled by your future brother-in-law, who casually dropped 50 grand on VIP bottle service like it was just a regular Tuesday evening. Meanwhile, your regular friends spent the whole weekend shamelessly taking selfies with absolutely everything. Because deep down, they all knew they were never going to taste this impossible level of luxury ever again. Today, your reality is a limitless black card, but there is a major catch. Every single swipe above $10,000 triggers an immediate alert to the private family office for financial tracking. You cruise around in a premium Tesla that was casually handed to you as a simple welcome gift. You wake up in a breathtaking penthouse, though technically it is legally owned by a faceless corporate trust. And your vacations? You stay at ultra-elite resorts where a single night costs more than what you used to pay for months of rent. But despite this blinding wealth, you are constantly reminded of your actual place. You are always kept exactly one step away from the real seats of power. Secretive family board meetings take place behind closed doors, completely excluding you. Intense business discussions instantly go dead silent the second you step into the room. And yes, your spouse and their siblings have a private inner circle group chat that you will never be invited to. Then there is the ironclad prenuptial agreement you were practically forced to sign. It is packed with strict social media bans, aggressive non-disclosure agreements, and a ruthless morality clause. Make one mistake, embarrass the family dynasty, and you instantly lose absolutely everything. Level 3. The sibling shadow. You shared the exact same sprawling mansion, attended the identical elite boarding school, and clearly remember him crying like a brat over a pony on his 8th birthday. Fast forward to today, and his net worth sits at a staggering $22 billion. Meanwhile, your personal wealth is hovering right around the $10 million mark. Sure, that mathematically makes you wealthier than 99.9% of the entire human race. But at the family dinner table, you are still quietly viewed as the unsuccessful sibling. You actually hustled to build a highly profitable, sustainable fashion empire from the ground up. You legitimately run a successful business that provides stable jobs for over 200 employees. Yet every single press article written about you leads with the exact same humiliating phrase: the sibling of the billionaire tech mogul. The media completely ignores the agonizing decade you spent mastering the industry and grinding for genuine connections. Instead, they lazily credit your entire life's work and success to nothing but raw family privilege. Every couple of years, he casually throws out out an offer to buy your entire business like he is just asking what you want for lunch. His buyout numbers are insanely high, likely twice the actual market value. But taking that massive payout means finally surrendering and admitting you need his charity to win. You have already rejected him 3 separate times, and every single refusal feels like you are stubbornly choosing sheer ego over massive financial security. Both of your kids attend the exact same ultra-exclusive academy, yet his children touch down on the campus in a private chopper, while yours just roll up in the standard family Tesla. It seems like a minor detail on paper, but it feels incredibly heavy in reality, especially when you catch all the other wealthy parents desperately straining their necks just to see which titan of industry arrived for afternoon pickup. Level 4, the inner circle friend. You two have been absolutely inseparable since your elite prep school days. You shared a cramped dorm room at Harvard, and you proudly stood as the best man at his wedding. And this was way back when he was just another privileged trust fund kid with crazy delusions about disrupting entire industries. You were the one who explicitly warned him that his tech startup was a massive gamble, strongly suggesting he just go to law school instead. To mock your incredibly terrible advice, he actually named a conference room after you in his very first corporate headquarters. Sure, you get the golden ticket to absolutely everything. You are front and center at the $1 million charity galas, the secluded private island getaways, and the VIP Super Bowl suites. But despite the luxury treatment, your opinion on actual important decisions holds absolutely zero weight. The one time you casually suggested he back a friend's restaurant concept, reality hit you hard. His assistant cold-bloodedly booked you for a formal pitch meeting, treating you like some random stranger cold-calling the office. Your children are practically inseparable. Your spouses plan endless playdates, and ringing in the new year at his massive Aspen estate is a locked-in annual tradition. Yet somehow, whenever Forbes drops a massive feature breaking down his exclusive inner circle, your name is completely erased from the narrative. You are perfectly positioned to watch the entire billionaire machine operate, yet completely powerless to actually pull any of the levers. The bond between you two is genuinely real, but the massive power imbalance becomes painfully more obvious with every passing year. He effortlessly covers the dinner tab every single time, simply because the cost means absolutely nothing to his bank account. But that dynamic also completely strips away your ability to ever truly return the favor like an equal. You are constantly left trapped in this weird emotional limbo, feeling incredibly blessed and deeply resentful at the exact same time. Level 5, the heir. You are just 17 years old, and your biggest daily struggle is ignoring followers begging for more luxury flexes on your Instagram feed. Even without trying, your baseline reality is infinitely more privileged than anything they could possibly hallucinate. Your elite private school tuition literally costs more than an average family home. But since every single kid in your class lives the exact same way, it feels completely normal. That is, until you finally step out of your billionaire bubble and interact with the harsh reality of the outside world. Your Sweet 16 blew up all over trashy gossip blogs after someone secretly leaked pictures of your custom Patek Philippe gift, not to mention the private concert by an A-list Grammy winner whose identity is strictly locked behind a mountain of NDAs. Reading the online comment section was an absolute bloodbath. Tens of thousands of faceless strangers viciously ripped you apart, labeling you as ridiculously spoiled, entirely out of touch, and much worse. Yet your personal therapist, who literally specializes in the psychology of ultra-rich families, calmly assures you that this kind of intense hatred is completely normal. Even your college applications are entirely micromanaged by elite consultants whose sole job is securing university spots for billionaire heirs. Your private SAT tutor charges an hourly rate that easily eclipses what a normal person earns in an entire workday. And your impressive high school extracurriculars, they consist of launching a fancy non-profit completely bankrolled by the family foundation. Plus, you get to casually intern at massive corporations that just so happen to be your family's portfolio investments. Dating like a normal teenager is completely impossible when your love life is aggressively vetted by private security, paranoid publicists, and ruthless media outlets. Your previous girlfriend secretly sold intimate photos of your private family estate straight to a trashy tabloid. That was the brutal moment you realized that genuine trust is the one ultimate luxury that even billions of dollars can never buy. Level 6, the billionaire's spouse. You locked eyes at a high society charity auction 15 years ago, back when his net worth was a mere $500 million. As a highly successful attorney, you arrogantly assumed you already knew exactly what real wealth looked like. You were absolutely terrifyingly wrong. The massive gap between being normally rich and billionaire status wealthy is literally the difference between a shallow puddle and a bottomless ocean. Your extravagant wedding landed right on the cover of Architectural Digest, simply because the custom floral arrangements cost more than a dozen average weddings combined. For your honeymoon, he casually purchased an entire private tropical island just for the two of you, to celebrate in total isolation. And then, he instantly donated that massive property to to wildlife conservation right after, simply because keeping it felt a little too excessive. Today, you are the mastermind behind a massive foundation that casually hands out $100 million a year. You personally oversee a sprawling household staff that actually requires government-level security clearances. And whenever you travel, you have to coordinate with elite advance teams simply because your mere physical presence instantly impacts local economies. Your daily schedule is strictly controlled by an MBA graduate whose annual salary easily dwarfs what top federal judges make. The general public assumes your existence is incredibly easy, completely blind to the crushing psychological pressure you face daily. Every single time you step outside, your appearance is ruthlessly analyzed by the media. The clothes you wear instantly spark massive public debates about global wealth inequality, and any charitable cause you dare to support is aggressively ripped apart for hidden political agendas. To make matters worse, whenever your husband decides to post a wildly controversial tweet, you are the one left doing the exhausting damage control. You have to frantically smooth things over with angry mega donors, powerful politicians, and the ultra-exclusive circle of billionaire spouses who make up your only real peer group. Level 7. The Inner Circle Bloodline. You are running the family's powerhouse venture capital division, aggressively managing a $2 billion portfolio spread across 200 different companies. Armed with a prestigious Stanford MBA, you grinded at Goldman Sachs for 2 agonizing years just to prove you could actually survive without relying on your family name. Now, the heavy burden falls entirely on your shoulders to generate the massive returns needed to fund your family's endless philanthropic empire. Your grueling routine kicks off at 5 in the morning with high-stakes conference calls to Asian markets, and your exhausting days do not end until midnight as you sift through endless pitch decks from desperate founders who assume your last name guarantees them a blank check. You have painfully rejected brilliant deals that would have made you look like a visionary genius, and you have embarrassingly bankrolled flashy startups that completely crashed and burned in spectacular fashion. The hardest part is knowing that every single financial move you make is harshly judged by older board members who literally remember changing your diapers. Meanwhile, the mainstream financial media treats your business decisions like cheap celebrity gossip. They constantly rip apart your track record, eagerly debating whether you are actually expanding the family empire or just lazily coasting on pure generational wealth. If you win, the world coldly assumes it is only because of your famous last name. But if you fail, you are instantly branded as a worthless product of toxic nepotism. Your actual hard work and genuine talent are completely swallowed up by the endless media obsession with billionaire dynasties. Level 8. The Chosen Successor. You are 35 years old, and the entire corporate world knows you are being aggressively groomed to inherit the throne. Your intimidating father still sits at the head of the boardroom table, silently watching your every move. Yet, you are the one forced to defend quarterly profit margins to ruthless financial analysts who literally remember you as a clueless summer intern. The psychological pressure is absolutely suffocating. You are not just managing a simple company, you are carrying the terrifying weight of a massive legacy that dictates the livelihoods of hundreds of thousands of employees. Your father built this unstoppable titan of industry from absolute scratch. That means every single strategic choice you make is brutally compared to his legendary track record. The financial press hovers like vultures, desperately hunting for any tiny mistake that proves you are unworthy of the crown. Ruthless competitors are constantly scheming in the shadows, trying to poach your top-tier executive talent. And aggressive activist investors are always plotting mutinies, loudly questioning if keeping the family in power is actually destroying shareholder value. To keep the empire from crumbling, you are grinding through brutal 100-hour work weeks. You are trapped in an endless, exhausting loop of private jets and high-stakes international meetings. And the dark truth is, you have not taken a single genuine day of vacation in over 4 agonizing years. Your marriage has barely managed to survive the chaos, though your spouse always knew exactly what signing up for a corporate dynasty truly meant. Your own children are lucky to even see you on weekends between your endless business flights, and tragically, they are already cracking under the immense psychological pressure of inheriting 4th-generation wealth. Level 9. The Absolute Core. You are 68 years old, sitting on a staggering personal net worth of $48 billion. You have single-handedly forged massive empires that provide paychecks for over 500,000 employees. You have bankrolled groundbreaking research that completely revolutionized entire global industries, and your charitable donations are so astronomically massive that iconic universities literally rename their campuses just to honor you. World leaders and actual presidents privately call your personal phone just to ask for your strategic advice. A single casual opinion dropping from your mouth has the terrifying power to instantly crash or skyrocket global stock markets. But achieving this godlike level of success comes with a suffocating, crushing isolation that no amount of money could ever cure. Your children are highly capable individuals, yet they are permanently trapped in the massive, inescapable shadow of your legendary achievements. Your spouse flawlessly manages the public-facing charity work while you ruthlessly dominate the global business business strategy. But behind closed doors, your personal life has become entirely transactional. You almost never have a normal, human conversation that is not strictly about corporate work, heavy family duties, or desperately managing your fragile public image. You have transcended simply being wealthy. You have evolved into a walking, breathing institution. A single strategic choice you make sends massive shockwaves through entire sectors of the global economy. Your calculated philanthropic moves literally dictate the future of international health and education initiatives. And your iconic family name is permanently cemented in history, mathematically guaranteed to outlast you by centuries. The crushing weight of this godlike responsibility is absolutely terrifying to carry. But simply walking away or stepping back is no longer a viable option, because millions of livelihoods now rely entirely on the colossal empire you constructed with your own two hands. Yet, in the dead of night, staring out from your private study at the glowing city below,